What's up, y'all? This is Zach with Living Corporate. And you know what? It's a Monday, right? We're recording this on a Saturday. Now, look, last time I dropped something on Monday. Don't get used to this. Okay, I'm dropping something on the Monday because I own Living Corporate. So I have the right to do with it what I please, right? That's the freedom of ownership. Shout out to the people that own things. This is not normal, right? I'm just dropping a bonus in the name of the fact that I can. And the fact that I love y'all. We love y'all. And when I say we, I mean the person that y'all have come to know, but then disappeared on y'all, like walked out on y'all with no explanation,
what?
with no,
what?
with no.
Why are you making me sound like a deadbeat dad?
Well, I mean, you can explain yourself. You can explain yourself if you like, but also reintroduce yourself if people don't know you.
Oh gosh. What's up, y'all? Hi everyone. This is Ade. If this is your first time hearing my voice, I am so sorry. I'm not new to this. I am in fact true to this. It just so happens you gotta take breaks. That means you gotta concentrate on staying alive. It's kind of like, you're a non-swimmer in the middle of the ocean. You gotta focus, focus on the things that keep you alive.
Right.
Right. And there was no boat that came to rescue me. I had to figure that one out on my own. But we're here now.
That's right.
Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your support and all those wonderful, wonderful things.
Yeah. So no, I'm thankful. You should have said, if this is your first time hearing my voice, you're welcome. No, people love your voice. People love my voice too, but like I feel like people project things onto my voice. People project things on my voice. They don't project on your voice. Like with my voice, people go, "Oh, you trying to sound all you try to sound all smooth. You trying to sound like late night DJ." With your voice, people just go, "Oh, it's just a really nice voice." Like no one adds any type of like.
They do though.
What do they say?
Look at you.
What do they say?
Look at you. Things that are far too explicit for this platform.
For this show, huh?
Get out. Anyway, certainly things that sometimes make me a tad uncomfortable because I just be minding my own business. Having a cute little riposte, right. Back and forth with people, being witty, and then suddenly someone's like, "Oh, you got the voice for the yeah." I'm just kind of like, okay, well,
the voice for what? Say it again. The voice for what?
The yeah. I refuse. I refuse to give that any more energy. Ma'am, you know who you are. Gross.
No. That's a lot. That's a lot. Okay. Well, let's move forward
on this family-friendly podcast.
So it's a Monday on Living Corporate. Man, a lot of stuff is like changed and grown. Like, and like, I'm like, so, I started off with jokes, right? Of course, we all have to take breaks. We all have to do things and, to protect our wellness. This has been is it unfair to say this has been a catastrophic year? Is that hyperbolic? It has certainly been one of great discomfort in a variety of different ways and of uncertainty. Shout out to Ruth Bader Ginsburg. A mentor of mine texted me and said, "We are so effed." And I said, "Black people feel like this every day."
I'm not gonna hold you. As a Black queer woman, it does feel a little bit more like the sky is falling.
Right.
And I'm going to withhold all of my commentary on that situation. Just know that I have been desperately looking for a suitor.
A sponsor?
A sponsor, someone who needs a wife. Who lives in these territories? Hold on, I can pull them up for you. So if you live in Canada, Costa Rica, Kenya, Ghana, St. Croix, please reach out to your girl.
That's wild. See, and that's something I can't.
I'm trying to get out of here.
See, shout out to you, right? And I'm not about to do a gender wars thing. It's just, the fact that you can just be like, "Look, I'm looking for a sponsor." And I bet, straight up, I bet you put your contact information. I bet you get somebody to hit you up because we do have listeners out there. So,
get me out out here.
That's
No,
that's the crazy part is I bet somebody be like they'll go to the website and they'll go contact us and be like, oh, what do you want to talk about? And they'll be like, and then there's like a drop down of options. They'll be like, I just want to say hey, and then they'll be like, I just want to say hey, and then somebody will be like, hey, on episode da da da, Ade said you're looking for a sponsor. This is me. Try to hit me up over here. It's just
here's my contact information.
Right.
Here are the ways in which you can reach me.
Just wow. So yeah, I mean, it's just interesting. It's just been a lot of things that have just continued to change, like, and grow. Right. I think today is the announcement. So there's a press release for Living Corporate and this whole entity called Westwood One. Right.
Yeah.
And so, like, Westwood One, huge distributor network of podcasts. And so, like, the announcement actually says that we are, Living Corporate, and the Living Corporate network is now in partnership with Westwood One, right? I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, I was over here just thinking about, what that means and how we're now mobilized to, well, first of all, we're just as mobilized, but how we have another arm and like machine kind of like supporting us, right? To like continue to grow. So I'm really excited about that. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm thrilled about that personally. And then I think about the fact that we have merch now, we have hoodies. Cause you read me, Ade, as someone who likes, yes.
Hi, Emery G.
Hey, Emery. So yeah, also another change, and Emery's been on the show a few times already, but as she continues to get older, her contributions will continue to mature. But anyway, back to the merch. So, are you a hoodie person? Do you like hoodies?
Love hoodies.
I might have to make you. So, like, let's just say let's change up. So, you're a host every now and then. Like you're like more like a guest host now. So, like, maybe we need to shift you up and make you like back in the 30s. They would have like the pretty girl promoting the brand.
The disrespect.
You can be, but we're changing the game though. We're changing the game because back in the day, it would be like these like, very like, what's the word? Slight white girls, right? You're like a whole grown dark skinned woman out here, right? We're actually challenging Eurocentric standards of beauty and capitalistic markets.
Is that what we're doing?
That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna send you a bunch of hoodies and a bunch of what else? Hoodies. We have mugs. We have what else? We have laptop sleeves, shirts. We even have one baby onesie, so you could rock those too if you wanted.
The disrespect. Oh, see,
but they go up to 2 years. But they go no stop. But they go up to 2 years. So they're big.
So there's guarantees to be something in my size. See, I hate you so much. Guarantees to be something in your size. I hate you so much, dog.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I know I've been. So look, for those who are new to the pod, like for real, me and Ade we're we're friends. Okay, and we've been through a lot. And it's been a very like active 2 years. Like I know we talked a little bit about, your journey like in like engineering, but like what's been going on in your world? Like you got to like give me a update. I will make no jokes. Like talk to me about. Let me think about the last time. So like it's been what like 6-7 months, I think, maybe a little bit longer. Like talk to me about like what's been going on. Talk to me about your space. Talk to me about what you're excited about.
Okay. So I'm in this weird place where I am excited about where I am right now, but I'm working on I'm studying for a few certifications. I'm doing a million things, working on a couple of different like side projects, primarily around the career coaching I've been doing for folks who want to pivot into tech. So some of my passions right now are on like access to care, access to food, all of that in my area. So I have projects around that. And then also just like the regular everyday tasks of living. I try my best to get through it all. And if I don't, giving myself grace. So those are my things. Those are the things that are top of mind for me right now. Ugh. Consulting really corrupts your brain because even after I left consulting, I still have like phrases like circle back and top of mind and above the fold.
It's,
They just regularly drop out of my mouth. Like, I'm not.
But but here's the thing about that though, and same because I'm still in consulting. Maybe I've yet to fully. I have not I'm not decolonized my vocabulary. Maybe that's why. But like, I like circle back. I say circle back for real. I say circle back with not like when I reach out to.
I know I met you.
I say circle back when I'm reach out to like. Man, okay. So look, shout out to Roland Martin. Look, I've emailed you twice. Okay. And asked you to be on Levity Corporate. And I sent him an email last week and I said, hey, just circling back. I think I want to say I circled back on the circle back. You know what I'm saying? Like man, listen, I'm out here. I don't say top of mind a lot. But top of mind is okay. Top of mind is okay. Now I'll say, I'm trying to think of a consulting phrase that I don't like. So now some of these phrases are not consulting phrases. It's just that white men dominate the space and they say things they shouldn't say. So like people say things like open up the kimono and I'm like, that's nasty. Don't say
Ew.
that. Yeah, don't say that.
Wow. Yeah.
Don't say that. Back to your point though around, so the career coaching. Okay. So then like, how has that been in terms of trying to, have those discussions? And then in what context or platform do you have those discussions? Are these just like one-on-ones? Are you like doing this for somebody else? Like what's the scale of this thing?
I have a Calendly. Originally it was like an hour, 30 minutes, and after about 15 minutes. Partly because of the volume, but also because of the amount of work that would go into each one. And I'm doing these for free, so obviously I'm trying to ensure that you get as much value out of this as possible, while also respecting that like I can't have an hour of my time blocked off every 3 hours of the day. It doesn't help me function. And so on Calendly, like you book 15 minutes, you tell me about the things that interest you, and then I can, before we have this meeting, I can go ahead, do some research, see if I have people in my network who are open to having mentees, connecting y'all after the conversation, helping you develop the roadmap, giving you some tips as to how you can, achieve your goals in a lot of ways. So paring it down to 15 minutes also means that I can see more people, which has been really, really helpful. So I've done, I would say like 40 to 50 of these at this point. And I'm happy, right? Like, so the first thing I saw this morning was one of the people that I coached. He was unemployed and he just got his first job as a Scrum Master. And it was the thing that did me out of bed this morning. That joy for him. So yeah, it's one of the things that makes me really happy. I don't know that I can make a career out of coaching people, because I feel like I take too much responsibility for other people in a lot of ways, but I definitely love to see people win, and it shows in the joy that I get from those messages like, hey, I just got this role, or I had another person who was like, hey, I got my foot in the door, or hey, I'm following the roadmap, or I had a check-in with another person just early this week, and it went from the more technical aspects of these are the things you need to do in order to get your foot in the door to, after doing these things, here's how I feel. How did you feel? Right? So it feels pretty like therapeutic as well. And I'm just happy to be here. That's the takeaway. I'm happy to be here.
I love that. No, I mean, so the reason I ask is because I think, it's important. It's important to always, like, as much as you can, to align yourself with your purpose, right? Like, where you find that you can do things that align with your purpose, like, I don't know, I just feel like everything else in your life will start to make more sense, right? Like, everything else in your life will start to make more sense. You will, the stress levels and things can go down. You're just less concerned, and then also other opportunities start to open up that make sense for you because you're operating in your purpose. So that's dope. In terms of you trying to make a career of, I mean, I don't know. There's like all types of things you could do. I mean, like we talk about things, off mic if you want, but I mean, because I wonder if there's like something you could do where it's like you drop like, so yes, you could still do the one-on-one thing, but maybe it's either protect yourself emotionally as opposed to you doing like one-on-one career coaching or trying to like not manage the lives, but you know, like attach yourself so intimately with like someone else's career or goals not because of their fault or whatever, just because of the way, you know, you're wired a little bit, which I definitely can relate to, is maybe it's just something where you just drop tips on like a cadence basis and you say, look, if you want career tips here now, and then that means you can still open yourself up, you know, but maybe it's less of those and more of that. And that way you can, what's the word? It's like, it can be more like emotionally sustainable for you. You know, but there's other ways to do it though. Like, you know, like in ways that you could drive money too. Like, I feel like you can monetize that for sure.
Yeah. For right now, I'm keeping the consults free because it's like part of my commitment to democratizing access to tech.
Yes.
It's in recognizing that. So actually, before I completed my pivot, I paid for a consult, and it was very valuable. If I didn't have the $100 that I ponied up for that conversation, I don't know that I'd necessarily be spinning my wheels, but like the value I got out of that conversation was so important to my journey. I don't want not having $100 or $50 or whatever amount that should be pegged at.
Yeah.
I don't want that to be the reason that you're not in tech, right?
That's real. That's super real.
And I got so much for free in my journey that it's like it would feel hypocritical for me to like start charging people when I got like people's time, effort, energy, content for free. So it's just kind of like, okay, maybe someday I could start thinking about monetizing certain things, but at this point, I'm really just enjoying the ride.
No, I respect that. I love that a lot. I think about Living Corporate like as a platform. You know, we don't charge anybody for anything, and we're dropping like stupid hot fire on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying? So like,
hot fire.
It's ridiculous. It's actually obscene.
So I'm studying for a couple of different certifications, and I don't even Google anymore or go looking for like a course or a book. I go to YouTube first. Try to find, because I know that somebody has created content around this thing that is free. Just free 99 floating around on the internet. And I think there is an ethos that I would like to abide by that says, I got these things for free, or I got access to these things, and I'm making them available to anyone who just takes the time to look. And that to me is special because there are a lot of knowledge hoarders. There are a lot of people who stake their careers, their lives, their personalities even on being the only person who has access to this information. And you should be fairly compensated for that, don't get me wrong. But I don't want there to be like, oh, we are now gatekeepers in this space and we determine who has access.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of gatekeepers out here, right? Like, there are a lot of black gatekeepers too, but which we don't talk about because
listen.
There are a lot of black gatekeepers out here who I think we practice the same patriarchy and scarcity mindset and just capitalistic functions that we rail against. Like, we practice on each other, and it's like, dog, like, just you ain't gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just trying to talk to you. Like, why are you, you know, and I get it. I do get it. I do get the idea of like, look, you want to pay people for their time. You want to pay people for their effort and their intellect, their insight. Like, I'm not shading any of that. I also believe that, man, like, we gotta figure out ways to like actually charge we gotta charge the people who have it. Like, that's my biggest thing is like, charge the people and the institutions that have it. Cause like the money that you're trying to, you know, bleed from the people that look like you, man, like the institutions that have it will, if you can get to them, which is a different conversation. But if you can get to them, they'll give you 10 times what you're trying to bleed me for, and they won't even feel it. They don't even care if you do it right.
Right.
And I think that's my biggest thing too. So earlier, to be clear, like when I was saying about, you monetize, I'm always thinking about, look, the things that we're doing in these spaces, Living Corporate is doing, the things that you're doing, the things that Tiffany Tate is doing, shout out to Career Maven, the things that Letitia Bird is doing, shout out to Letitia, like all these different brands and businesses that are around Tristan, who's a part of the show, like, and also shout out to Tiffany, part of the show. But like all these like kind of like Black career consulting type things, like I'm always challenged with like, okay, I get that we have to eat. I get that we have to survive, right? So I'm not shaming anybody for how I'm not shaming. I am going to shame some of y'all if y'all are exploiting other people. But the point is like these services, these things that we're doing, there are huge global brands that would love to figure out a way to plug into the thing that we kind of are just doing on the side, like, and create a whole thing around it and would pay for that, right? And so what I'm trying to think about for the rest of this year, and especially as we get into 2021, is being creative in how you're monetizing again, not at the B2C, but at B2B. I think like that's like I'm really, really curious about that. Like, I think that's probably where like my business nerd, or just kind of curiosity peaks or sticks up a little bit, is like, what does that look like? You know?
Yeah. I definitely feel like there is a space to explore what your business could look like. And I think the other thing for me is that I'm having a difficult time seeing this as a business. I see it as a service. I see it as me pouring back into my community. And I think that's part of my resistance to monetization, because once you take it from, I'm doing this because I love and I care about this very specific thing, to I'm doing this because I'm getting paid to do it. And again, that's not shade in any way. It's just me recognizing what my internal dialogue, whether I recognize it or not, what that internal dialogue means and how it contributes to how I show up in these spaces. Recognizing that, okay, let me illustrate the point. So yesterday, I had to present something to my boss that I've been working on, an app that I've been building for a month and a half. And when I tell you that I was so stressed about this thing that I was having physical reactions, like my stomach was upset. Like yesterday, I woke up at 1:48 a.m. And by yesterday, the Friday I had to present, I woke up at 1:48 a.m., worked all the way through the moment I had to present to her. And that was my imposter syndrome showing up, right? That was this constant loop that I had in my head of, you're not good enough, you're not going to get this right, this is going to go terribly. And that is a thing that I'm trying to eliminate for other people. I don't want any Black software engineer to ever have, like, I have a demo that I have to show someone, but like, I can't focus long enough to stop my hand from shaking, right? Type of thing. And it's that anxiety that I want to help eliminate for people. Not saying that I can ever completely eliminate it, but ensuring that people have that sort of, like, I know that I'm good at this because I've done this so many times, and I've been told so many times how amazing I am at this thing. I don't know, like, there are experiences that I've had that I want to ensure nobody else ever has to go through. And it's a little grandiose.
It's not, though.
That's where I'm at.
And I mean, I think that's like, that goes back to what I'm saying about, like, yeah, it's not going to fix everything, but like what I think folks in the majority underestimate is because their entire life is this, Black and brown folks, like, we need reference. We need points of reference. Like, and let me not exclude white folks, because this helps everybody. But like, you need a point of reference when you are facing imposter syndrome, when you're feeling down, when you're feeling like, man, I can't do this thing. And for Black and brown folks, like, because there's already so few of us in these spaces, like, we need them even more, right? Like we need them even more, and they're harder to find and come by, and they're just less accessible to us. And so creating that is important. To your point around like, I do this for my people. I'm not doing this to get paid. I think for me, the way that I continue to think through it is like, and I just said this. I just said this on Twitter. I was like, look, man, like I'm a social entrepreneur focused on Black liberation. So like, I'm not out here trying to charge. I would never charge Black people and brown people to be free. Like that. That's just not, I'm not doing any of that. But these corporations though, and I had a gif of Nas masking up because like it's a full-time jack move with y'all. And I think for me, it's like, it's not even about necessarily trying to get paid, quote unquote, as much as it is like, I'm trying to receive so that I can give out more. Right. So like, think about if there were ways with what you're doing, if you're able to get X amount of $1,000 sponsorship from this or that, or a grant from this or that, how much more you could then provide and create. Right. Like, cause I'm always thinking about that, which is like, okay, the money coming in would help me do this better. Right. Like the money, like, our Kickstarter right now, this is the last week of our Kickstarter. Right. So like the Kickstarter, the money coming for the Kickstarter is directly funding all these digital products that we're creating for Living Corporate. Right. The Kickstarter is helping to pay Aaron and give him a raise. Like the Kickstarter very much. Shout out to Aaron. Shout out to Aaron. Aaron is the proof that diversity works. Okay. Diversity works. Aaron is the business case for diversity. Okay.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion. Aaron is the business case for that. Aaron is the only white man on this team. And Aaron, man, you're a credit to your race, brother. I appreciate it.
I can't stand you.
Thank you, man.
Aaron, we love you.
Aaron is one of the good ones. You see how ridiculous that sounds? Like when the things are switched, it sounds nuts. That's how y'all be sounding when y'all talk about us though. So anyway, no, I'm just very thankful for Aaron. But yeah, the point is like, I'm not ashamed of, and I don't take issue with like thinking about ways to create revenue for Living Corporate, because I know that every dollar that comes in for Living Corporate immediately is going out in some way, right? Even if it has to do with paying me. Hold on. Amen. Lights and walls. It has to do with like supporting the people that are creating this content. Like, so think about yourself, right? If you're able to get a sponsorship, like how much more time, what are things that you could pay for yourself, or that you can not only enhance your product, but take care of yourself so that you show up better when you do these, right? Like,
listen, man, so I can quit the second job.
A second job? Where you have 2 jobs?
Listen, we can talk offline.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. But see, that's what I was telling. Okay, so like, let me just talk about I had 2 ideas. I won't talk about the second idea for the sake of the show, but I will talk about the first idea. That's why I really think you should create that OnlyFans for the cooking.
Yo.
Like so talk to me about like, so y'all, for those who don't know, Ade is an incredible cook. Like she is passionate. She has a deep, genuine passion for cooking. And those, if you want to go back and hear how much Ade cares about and really enjoys cooking, go back and listen to the episode that she interviewed my dad early. She talks about she wants to have a food truck, and like the point is like, she's really good at this, right? And Ade likes to take pictures of herself, right? She likes to take selfies, right? So I'm like, look, and you like to dance a little bit, right? I'm like, yo, why don't you do an OnlyFans? And see, this is the part we're gonna have to eventually pivot Living Corporate, like to do full time like live shows, so we can like see each other, and then we can have live people like react in real time. Because my thing is like, I bet if we had a live show right now, I bet people would be like, yes, you should do that. Because I don't understand. Have a live show where you're cooking on OnlyFans and you're cooking these incredible meals. Because I'm about to ask you to talk about the last thing you just cooked last night or the day before. But then like have that with the Afro beats in the background. Like, I don't understand. Like why not? Tell me why not?
Because there is like a production level required. Like I don't have a stand. I don't have a ring light. I don't have none of those things. And also that's the thing, like it goes from being this thing that is special to me, that I adore, that is like very much a safe space for me, to being something that I have to put out to everyone. And it stops feeling like my privacy. It starts feeling like a production. And,
I can empathize with that a little bit, right? In that
Just a little bit.
just a smidge though. Because here's the thing. Like we've seen. So for those who don't know, OnlyFans is like how would you describe it? Like what? Like it's a business to consumer digital social platform. I don't know. Like I'm trying to figure out like what basically creators or creatives, they go on this OnlyFans and they create content that you have to pay to see. Right. And there's different tiered access depending on like there's different levels of content you get depending on the type of, whatever their content setup is. So you can pay like a base fee and get on their page and see certain things, but you may have to pay a little bit extra to see like bonus stuff or whatever. And so there's a lot of different types of content on OnlyFans. And I don't know, like from what I've seen on OnlyFans, like there are creators out there that use OnlyFans and like the quality isn't good. Like they don't have the ring light and they don't have whatever. It's just them like on using the selfie and they do great. So I don't know if you have to necessarily do all of that. I think you probably just take your phone, prop it up against a pillow or a chair, prop it up against a chair and just start cooking. I don't know, man. I just think that there are ways. I just wonder if there's a middle ground. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
I do hear what you're saying. I don't know. I think also maybe because really like deep down, I think ultimately like I'm a producer. Like that's like beyond the podcast. Like if you look at Living Corporate, all the content that we're creating that I'm not going to be the face of, like I think I'm realizing my passion is more on the production side. Like I'm always looking at things as potential content.
Yes, you are actually. Yes, you are. This has been a bone of contention in our friendship. Yes, you are. Because I'll just be minding my business. I'll post a photo of a plate that I made, and suddenly here comes Zach in my DMs, just like bursting the door open, like that guy from SpongeBob. So this could have been on OnlyFans, right? Like,
on OnlyFans. It could have been on OnlyFans, dog.
Bro, I was just minding my business with my dinner.
My goodness gracious, man. And see, then you could do. Oh, but you don't eat pork.
I don't eat pork, but I cook pork very well.
Because you could even do. See, anyway. So I'm like, watch this. I'm gonna take it to the next level. Because what you could do is you could do like different types of pork. And you could create your own platform and call it Only Hams.
Nope. Nope.
Yo, my dad joke energy has like grown tenfold since I had a daughter.
No. Gotta ignore it.
You could do okay, now I continue forward. So you could do okay, here's another idea for content. Here's another idea for content. It could be you where you put a GoPro camera on and you go out to the club and you call it Only Yams.
Excuse me? Excuse me? Excuse me? I just want to know, what the hell is your problem?
Dog, that is funny. I'm always thinking about content. Like there's just so many. Anyway, the point is that what I've learned in this past year also is that, man, these businesses, they have so much money. They have so much money, man. Like, listen, they have a lot of money. Like the things that they'll pay for. Like if you were to get a GoPro camera, put it on your head, go to the club, go to the club and dance, and then create a website called Only Yams, onlyyams.com.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm laughing because I'm thinking about how ridiculous I would look.
The GoPro camera on your head?
Yes. With the freaking dress on. And then I'm just out in public.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm actually hot. Okay.
And then your shirt would say Only Yams, right? Because you'd be like a
product. No. See, that I would break out in hives. No.
That's a level of embarrassment that people are not. But again though, I'm just saying, like that's the type of content. That's the thing. Like what did I see? I saw something where it was like these college students are like you go to these parties and they'll wear like a brand. Like they'll wear like, Jose Cuervo and a Jose Cuervo hat. And then they drink the Jose Cuervo and that's how they get the Jose Cuervo for free. And that's marketing. Have you seen that?
Yeah, no.
and so I'm like, that's wild, right? But this is the point. What I'm saying is like, we have to start being creative. Only Yams is kind of a joke, kind of. But like we have to start being creative. I really do mean this as Black creatives, you know, because if it's like, I don't know, man, I'm not personally comfortable with business to consumer selling for Black and brown people on things around their career or progression. Like, I'm just not, like, that's just not a thing. And like, again, please don't take that as a personal slight to you if that's what you do. We all have like different way. Like, if that's how you get it, that's how you get it. Good for you. I'm saying what I'm not comfortable with. And I think that like you said, if we're really trying to democratize and like create accessibility for people, you know what I mean? Like, cause think how many people are sitting in some job that like is underpaying them by like, I don't even 100%. Like, they could be getting paid like literally like, you know, who knows how much they're getting underpaid. And what's stopping them is like this course over here that is like $50 that they literally don't have. And I think it's easy to be like, well, no, you just don't do this and don't do that. But like, what I've also been learning in this season, even though like, it's not like I came from like super wealthy means, is like the reality of poverty for Black and brown people. Like, we be poor out here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Way poor.
Listen.
Yeah. Poor. Go ahead.
I think that there's something to be said for how we've been conditioned to be afraid of asking for what we're worth and how that plays into every aspect of our interaction. So September 18th, 2016, I posted on this Facebook group that was very much like a sorority of my friends for a very long time. I've been in that group since like 2011 and I'm still in it. So we've gone from like posting braces to posting babies. I love these women, right? And one thing that I saw was that, and at this point in my life, I was struggling, okay? Struggle bus. When I'm talking struggle bus, I mean like homeless and sleeping on couches, struggle bus. And I posted about my bank account is not in the red for the first time in a long time. I'm about to go stun on the dollar. And for me, it was just like that acknowledgement that like, I have come so far because I went back and I commented on it and I was like, yo, this struggle used to be real. But recognizing that you have come so far, but you still have a long way to go, not just for yourself, but for the people who see these comments that you've made, this progress that you've made. I don't know. I'm trying to not put a Nigerianism
why not?
in this comment because there's a lot of context, right? But like people will say, cut your coat according to your size, as in do the things that fit you.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'm actually translating that properly, but whatever, we'll go with it.
Okay.
And extrapolating from that point, there is success that comes to size. There's a career. There's a life for you that comes in your size that you don't have to shrink yourself for. That isn't going to be overwhelming for you. You just have to figure out a way to get there, right? You just have to really imagine what that world is and then work at it. In my immediate family, I don't have really anybody who has made six figures in their entire lifetime. So when I start imagining what it's like to just walk into these spaces and demand six figures, I don't have the language for that. And so now trying to figure out what that looks like, how I can create systems and processes around this imagination that I'm only just beginning to grow. It's difficult, but then I have people like you around me who just like bully me into greatness. Y'all appreciate it, I guess.
Well, no, I mean, look, I'm right there with you in that family background is, so it's interesting because our family background is not similar, but it is similar in that that we both come from spaces that were not, there was love, of course, right? This is not this, of course, like that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there was like folks were able to show us everything, what to do and how to navigate everything. It just wasn't the reality of our lives. And so like we're having to come in to these spaces and like, to your point, like, things that are cut to our size, right? Like finding and figuring out what that is and not shrinking ourselves. And also like not being afraid to stand up, because sometimes you shrink yourself so long when you find something that's cut to your size, to your point, it seems overwhelming or it seems too big. When in reality, you're just not standing up. You know what I mean? And so like,
say that again.
So no, it's like you're so used to shrinking yourself that when you finally find something that's really cut to your size, you think it's too big, but the reality is you're just not standing up. Like posture is bad. And so like, I think that's what I'm learning more and more. And my hope is that the content we continue to create here is encouraging folks to stand up, you know, to walk in what has been provided for them, to walk in and to sit up, right? To sit up. Like, you know, I don't think any positive situation where you go, man, it's just too big, it's overwhelming. I don't think that's the case. I don't think it's too big. I think that person needs help and support and encouragement to walk upright, you know?
Yeah.
It's a nice little taste for a bonus episode on a Monday right before. Oh yeah, that's right. And then tomorrow is our conversation with Minda Hart's. Listen, man, we have Minda.
I stand.
Listen, I'm a fan, dog. I am. Like, I'm an unabashed fan, dog. Like, I really appreciate Minda. She is super dope. And, you know, she dropped the paperback version of the memo talking essentially about just how Black and brown women need to have a seat at the table. And I remember we interviewed her like early, like I think before the memo dropped, now that I think about it.
Yep.
And like now she's like, you know, Twitter official. She talking to PayPal and Facebook and Amazon and whoever else. She talking to all these brands, right? And so I'm just really excited. So we're gonna make sure that we're gonna have a good time. The wild thing is that I recorded this interview with Minda like a long time ago. Like I want to say we recorded this interview with Minda like, I don't know, like maybe March. Like so much stuff had not happened yet, and so I was like, I don't really, you know.
Like, that feels like such a long time ago,
right? Listen, but I'm just like, no, it's Minda Hart. It's like I gotta drop the content, so we're gonna drop it. But yeah, you know, it's gonna be a good week, y'all. I need y'all to, you know, continue to rock with us. Thank you so much for those who have and continue to. But you know, tell your people about us. I'm looking at these numbers. They still it's still selling. Like the block is hot. Okay, like we out
real
here.
hot.
The block is hot, man. It's we moving. So, you know, I mean, are they like before we go? Tell the people, you know, what should they be looking out from you for? Like, of course you're here, but like, what else? Like, I just want to give you space for your shout outs. You know what I'm saying? For your, like, you know, shout like flip, like whatever.
Sure. Right now I'm really focused on this career pivot consultation. So if y'all know folks who, I actually don't know if I have a link posted anywhere besides my Twitter, but I also don't know if I want to direct people to my Twitter because it's a personal account. Yeah, so I'm working, and we can drop it in the show notes, but
okay.
If you know people who are interested in getting a career consult, who are trying to pivot into tech, that's my specific niche. So please have them reach out. I'm very excited to get to work with folks. And for the foreseeable future, the consult is for free. I have a Periscope on the subject that gives like a primer. Also listen to the podcast episode, Grit, Faith, and Humor, on what that pivot was like. If folks are particularly interested and would like to work with me. Yeah, those are my things for right now. There's still things in the works, but I don't want to jinx it.
We gotta talk, man. We have to talk, fam. See, I'm trying to like de-genderize.
More inclusive. Yeah.
Be more inclusive in my language. But no, we gotta talk. Like, I want to hear more about that. Okay, well look, y'all, you know, this is what we do, right? Like, look,
That's that on that.
That's that on that. We are creating content that is affirming the marginalized voices at work. Like, that's the goal. Like, so our hope is that you hear this, you feel heard, you feel seen, you feel encouraged, and that you feel uplifted. And, you know, as things change and, you know, you'll start hearing different things through our partnership with Westwood One. Understand that your experience of and our, you know, your consumption of this content and it achieving those goals will not change. So shoot, that's it. You know where we're at. We're all over Serena Williams and all over Russia's internet. type in Living Corporate. We're going to pop up wherever you hear us at. And till next time, this has been Zach.
And it's been Ade.
Peace.
Living Corporate is a podcast by Living Corporate LLC. Our logo was designed by David Dawkins. Our theme music was produced by Ken Brown. Additional music production by Antoine Franklin for Musical Elevation. Post-production is handled by Jeremy Jackson. Got a topic suggestion? Email us at livingcorporatepodcast@gmail.com. You can find us online on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and living-corporate.com. Thanks for listening. Stay tuned.